Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to talk about my Skyrim wishlist. I'm Alcast from alcasthq.com. Please make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. What do I mean by wishlist? It's basically something I would like to see with the next chapter Skyrim. May it be improvements or actually new additions to the game. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see with the Skyrim chapter. Anyway, let's get started. By far the most important point for me is performance. Elder Scrolls Online always had a rough time when we are looking at the performance of the game, be it FPS, latency due to the mega server, or things like the queuing system not working and a ton of bugs that are not fixed for several years. Looking at you, weapon surf bug. With the Elsewhere chapter, Elder Scrolls Online saw a huge influx of new players because WoW and Final Fantasy had bad patches or no new content. And everybody loves dragons and kitties, so they tried out ESO because of the Elsewhere chapter. Now looking at this, the biggest issue during that chapter was that servers just did not work at all because there was too many people trying to play. So sometimes there was like 4 maintenances per week, with like 8 hours downtime. The looking for group system just stopped working because too many people started queuing up. And it's just very annoying if you want to play the game but it just doesn't work, you go somewhere else. The Source realized that, that's why they released this performance improvements timeline. This is the December 2019 update. Now, these are only a few things. Update 24 is the current Dragonhold DLC patch. This roadmap will most likely even continue in 2021. Now the biggest issue with this is when the Skyrim hype starts, people will already check out the game like in March when basically the start of the new season is. And most of the improvements are not done yet, so they're still working on it. And then I fear that people will see that not a lot changed and they will just go play something else. But we will see how it turns out. Hopefully they can keep working on this and make the game better. I will do a separate video on the performance roadmap because I could go on for like 30 minutes talking about these points, but that's not the point of the video. Rumors are that we might be fighting vampires as the main enemy in the Skyrim chapter. It's not 100% confirmed, but if that's the case, it would be really sick to get a vampire skill line rework like they have done in the past with the werewolf skill line. Because currently the vampire skill line just doesn't really offer enough in my opinion, because it only has 2 active skills and that's it, compared to the werewolf, which is basically a standard skill line setup. So hopefully, if we really get a lot of like vampire themed stuff, I really need a vampire rework source, okay? Thanks. Staying on the vampire theme, I would love to see a trial dedicated to vampires. That would be amazing. 90% of my time in the Elder Scrolls Online is spent in trials and arenas. That's basically all I do in this game because it's so much fun. Maw of Lorkhart is still my most favorite trial because I think it has a perfect length and the bosses are fun. Though I also like Halls of Fabrication, Cloudrest, Sunspire, Sanctum, Epherian Archive or Hell Ra. The only one I really dislike is Asylum Sanctorium. I just think it's badly designed. I am pretty certain that we will get the trial. I hope we get the full one, because I think a mini trial is just not enough content for a chapter. The chapters are fairly expensive, so I really expect a full trial. Hopefully we will get one. Same with arenas. Usually we get the arena in Q4, but last year we didn't get any, so maybe they might try to squeeze another arena in addition to the new trial. That would be amazing. Now with the arenas, what I would love them to see improve is when we're looking at Blackrose Prison. I think Blackrose Prison was made before Murkmire. That's why we mostly saw old content, old mobs in there. And most of the new monsters that we saw in the Murkmire zone were not there. So I was like, well, what's this? I don't understand. And it hit me. I'm like, well, they probably made this arena a long time before. That's why there was nothing new in there. So if they are creating an arena, please make it so it actually features the new monsters, the new content, and doesn't just recycle old stuff. That would be sick. Elder Scrolls Online does an outstanding job telling a story. The quests are also really nice, even side quests are really amazing sometimes, and exploration is cool too with each new chapter. I think no other MMO does it better actually. The only thing I would love to see here is a little bit more dungeon content during chapters. And that doesn't have to be 4-man dungeon content. It could just be something similar to public dungeons. We usually get 2 public dungeons, but I think it's just not enough. I would just like to see smaller caves, a lot more of them, so you actually wonder, well, what's in there? I want to go explore, maybe I can get some clues, some story content. That would be amazing. With the Skyrim chapter, I would love to see a new weapon skill line. I do think we are not getting a new class because we got one in elsewhere and they're usually on a 2-year cycle, but at least a new weapon skill line. I just want it to not be as grindy as the Psijic skill line, because that was the first 1-2 times it was fun, but when you have 20 characters or more, it really gets stale at some point. So hopefully a new weapon skill line, but less grindy. It also doesn't necessarily have to be related to combat. Maybe something that is used outside of combat that gives you a small advantage would also be amazing. Next on the list, Battlegrounds. I would love to see more Battleground maps, and I also would love that they are trying to be a little bit more creative, putting crazy ideas in some of the maps that might make it a little bit more interesting. I would also love to see a separate solo queue and less waiting time. I think the MMR system is really putting like people into long queues, and I just think when people have to wait 10-20 minutes to actually get into a Battlegrounds, most people will just go play something else. So hopefully we will get faster queue times as well. With each new chapter we also get new sets. Now that's the next thing on my list. I would love them to be a little bit more creative with new sets, because usually we just get generic. I mean, the 5-piece sets are nice, but what I'm trying to say is I would love them to give us maybe new options. So like sets that you have to work together with a body. So the set can only be complete, or like the 5-piece bonus, maybe a 7-piece bonus is only active if you're close to your friend, something like that. Or maybe a 4-piece, a 1-piece bonus, like a set that is complete, like the arena weapons, stuff like that, for armor too. So these things would be amazing and like stir up the Fury crafting community a little bit, because it's usually always like 5-5-2 or something like that. So hopefully we will get new exciting things in this area. Now another very important thing on my list is a spec system. What do I mean by that? Basically that you can swap your whole gear setup, champion points, morphs with one button. At the moment it is very annoying and time consuming if you have one character and you're PvEing in a trial and then you want to go PvP. It takes you like 10 minutes to swap everything. Unexperienced players, maybe 15-20 minutes to get from one activity to another one. A spec system would eliminate this problem, so you can have 3 specs on your character. One is a PvP spec, the other one a PV, and the other one maybe a solo PV build or something. So you just press one button and it changes everything. That would really help save so much time, and especially for consoles it would also be an amazing new feature. Customization of abilities. The game already does a really good job at allowing you to customize your character. You can use different outfits, there's so many different motive styles, personalities, skins, emotes, there's just so much things. The chance that you're actually going to find a player that looks the same as you do is basically 0. I would love them to do the same for abilities, that you actually can tweak the colors or maybe even the effects of certain abilities, and give us skins for pets. I think that would be such a nice addition to the game. Another thing I would love to see with the Skyrim chapter is that you can place your characters in your house. That would be amazing. So usually when you have the character loading screen, just how they are there with the personality, outfit, skin, whatsoever, so you could actually place them in your home. And when you're playing one of the characters, it will not be in the home, but all the others would be there. That would be so amazing. I could go on for hours, I could talk about champion points, class identity and so on, but I think for now it's enough. Let me know in the comment section below what you would like to see in Skyrim, be it a new feature or like a quality of life improvement, whatever. Like always, make sure to go check out alcasthq.com for up-to-date builds and guides. We are also adding a lot more beginner guides for like classes, be it 160 champion points builds or just in general guides if you're a new player. And I have also been working on a category which is dedicated to solo builds, because most of the builds on the website, especially PvE wise, are for groups, and solo builds are a little bit different. So I want to get a full category down there with very detailed builds, with things that especially newer players struggle. So everything is explained and you actually can understand the game and have fun. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that juicy like button. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Cheers.